You're alone in your living room. The lights are off. The muted blue glare of the TV reminds you of just how helpless you really are. Thunder shrieks, the wind howls, and the attic creaks. A knock at the door surprises you. Oh!
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
You stand up as the door crashes open.
Oh, yeah.
And the Murder Schmurder crew enters your home. They're yelling jokes, pop culture references, and start mansplaining some of the most vile true crimes you've ever heard of. You listen to them, unsure at first, but relaxing into it. Pretty soon you're laughing, horrified, and strangely turned on. At some point they realize they've forgotten to introduce themselves. So make room in your heart for Grant, Jamie, Austin, Carlton, Joseph, and the friends, lovers, and or acquaintances they pressure into hanging out. Just like your creepy boss that has no friends.
Hey, why don't we hang out more?
Please make some room for Murder Schmurder!
Trying to get Brad Pitt to read for this. So far, all calls have gone unanswered. All emails have been unread, and I assume deleted. So instead, we're going to do Murder Schmurder with a little brief history of executions.
Ooh, I love it.
Great. Sorry, I went NPR there for a second.
I like that you go NPR.
I pitched best thing I ate this week, but cream of the crop or did I come today or whatever weird thing that you want to pitch, I'm into.
No, I thought that's what you...
Is that what cream of the week is?
That's what we wrote down, cream of the week and bit workshop.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. No, you're right. Cream of the week. So like cream of the crop, like the...
Whatever it means to you, I think is what we left it as.
That.
I think it's supposed to be what's the best thing that happened to you this last week.
I didn't throw up with that Jello shot at Dave & Buster's.
I don't know why you would have. It was fucking delicious.
No, for a second there, because I got most of it into my mouth and it all collected in my throat. And I was like, oh no, here's what happened.
Well,
It was lumpy.
It was lumpy. It was lumpy. And
It
they
was
handed
lumpy.
to you with that fucking syringe, so you could just shoot yourself right in the fucking uvula.
Gotta be real honest. The syringe took me back. Like when she popped those bad boys on the counter, I like took a step back.
That's
I was a little afraid.
yeah, I get that. And especially because it was like neon green on the inside.
It was like
too.
Nickelodeon green and big enough for a horse to get inseminated. Like, it was
a lot.
Yeah. No, I had a lot of fun with you guys at the old D&B's. So, you know what? Let's just call that.
Yeah.
I love it.
That DMBs, that was your week.
That was my cream of the week.
Well, we all heard it here. Joseph loves Dave & Buster's.
Yeah,
I do love Dave & Buster's when I am obliterated.
yeah. It was
Just
a really
throwing
nice
kids out of the way.
So Sam's cream of the week obviously was his birthday.
Oh yeah,
Several days.
all 4 days of my birthday.
I bet
You had a lot of cream this week.
I feel like I had no creams because at Dave & Buster's, the worst service of all time.
It's a Dave & Buster's, Jamie. You know what the bullshit those people have to go through? Are we committed to calling it just D&B now?
It's easier.
Yeah.
You know how often I reference D&B.
Yeah, that's true. Also, I have a she might end up listening to this, so I just would like to shout out my coworker Jesse, who for a embarrassingly long time was convinced that Dave & Buster's was owned by Dave Chappelle and Buster Rhymes together.
No. Yeah.
That was a fact that
Jesse,
she
no.
believes.
Did you tell her that?
Yeah, no, I didn't. But I
Who
heard,
corrected her?
I
Who needs to
did.
get punched? That's
No,
you.
No, I'm sorry, because she was trying to spread that information. She was saying it to one of her clients, and I'm like, I got to shut this down right now.
No, you got to spread that.
Yeah, she can't keep telling people that because she's going to be the girl that thinks.
You say that to the wrong person, you're blacklisted.
Exactly. I care about her, and I'm like, I can't have her be the girl who everyone's like, that's a fucking girl who thinks Dave & Buster's. And I'm like, Google it. Just go ahead. I want you to stand in front of me, and I want you to Google. I stopped my haircut. I made her stop her haircut. And us and our clients all sat there and stood and stared at each other for the 30 seconds it took her to Google it. And she was just like, oh, no.
Oh, no.
See, that would have been my theoretical cream of the week, is having convinced her that it was owned by Dave Chappelle and Buster Rhymes.
At first I thought she was fucking with her client and I was going to shut it down. But then halfway through I was like, oh no, she actually
This
thinks
is for real.
This is for real. This is a problem.
But can you imagine how much better Dave & Buster's would be if it was owned by Dave Chappelle and Buster Rhymes?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah. that'd be
Right?
amazing.
Just think about it for a
Yeah.
second.
It'd be really awesome.
it would be awesome.
Drinking Hennessy and Sprite.
Kids wouldn't be allowed. I feel like that'd be
what
the
I'm
first
talking
thing they
about.
do.
No.
Definitely not.
I think
You want to talk about anything else? Anything else? Just go ahead, please. That's how I feel.
Yeah, what about maybe some executions?
Maybe
yeah.
some execution.
No, I meant like Dave Chappelle.
Is that what this
All
is
right,
gonna-
murder.
all right.
Let's get into some
Tighten up, boys. Tighten up.
Okay, yeah.
bloody executions. So, in my research, executions essentially, this seemed to me anyway, to be going back as far as humans have been writing stuff down and had some form of government. Seems like as long as we've had rules, we've killed people for violating those rules.
I'm pretty sure like the first two things we ever invented as a society were fart jokes and killing people publicly. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Prostitution.
Oh, prostitution's up
That
there,
was the
too.
first thing.
Yeah.
It's well, actually, because you have to pay for prostitution, sex work. So the job that paid the sex worker would be the first job.
Okay, cool. We'll
right.
back up just a little bit. Bartering system.
Bartering system.
Prostitution.
Sex work.
Fart jokes
Fart
and then
jokes.
executions.
Okay.
Got
I
it.
think fart jokes predates all of that.
I mean, like some early Neanderthal was just like, and the other one was like, and they were like, we just did something.
All right. So fart jokes, bartering system, prostitution, execution.
I'm into that. I'll agree to that.
Yeah,
A table consensus. I love it. All right.
Hey, look at us agreeing on something.
Execution.
So this is just like fun little historical fact. The earliest example of a codified death penalty, something actually written into law, is from the Code of King Hammurabi of Babylon,
Oh, okay.
which dates back to
That old
1750, 1750 BC. So the Code of Hammurabi described laws and punishments for about 20 different offenses: theft, perjury, fucking someone's wife, hanging, stoning, beheading, crucifixion, and getting kicked in the head by a donkey, I think, were the most common forms of executions back then.
No fucking shit. Seriously?
Getting kicked in the
I
head.
did not know that.
I might have made up the getting kicked in the head by a donkey.
Damn it. I was really excited about that
But
one.
think about it. Like, how else would you do it?
I don't know. Well, you halfway through, you went from crimes into methods of execution.
Yes.
So at one point, I think it was right in between. I didn't realize the switch when you said having sex with someone's wife, and then into crucifixion. And then
Yeah.
I was like, "What? That was a crime to be crucified?" And then you said these are executions. I'm like, fucking somebody's wife as a way to execute somebody?
Pretty sweet, right?
Holy shit!
This
I still like
Hammurabi
the donkey
guy's
one. I like the
awesome.
idea of like getting a donkey really pissed off while the guy's back there with his hands tied behind his back.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, he's gonna kick him eventually. He's gonna kick him
And this
eventually.
guy is just come on, when's it gonna kick?
So, before we get into the modern execution methods and how badly they can get fucked up, I kind of wanted to just, run down a greatest hits list from some good old days. Again, crucifixion, beheading, poisoning, burning alive, cutting people in half, tying them to a rock and just throwing them off a cliff, which is so simple that it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
And apparently they also used to boil people alive,
Yeah.
which, apparently, I don't know, but there were some records I saw that said that one dude went through it and he was boiled for 2 hours before he finally fucking died.
It says that's like you just falling asleep in a jacuzzi.
Yeah. Like a priest, like, no, it's not that bad. Can I get a beer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
They're
like
just bad at stoking that fire.
I mean, do you
the
think
cauldron,
at some
you know?
point they just started cutting carrots and celery and onions into there and they were like, we might as well.
they're just slow braising him or something. But I feel like it's like probably like for the first they were bad at stoking the fire. So just for the first hour and a half, he was like, this is kind of nice little schwitz, little exfoliation. And then they just cranked it up for 20 minutes, and he's like, okay, no, this sucks.
It's like, I get it now.
Yeah.
So, I also wanted to bring up one of my favorite execution methods.
Hang on.
Yeah.
You forgot quartering.
Quartering?
Yeah.
I didn't forget quartering. I just didn't mention it.
Oh, go on.
Well, because I thought quartering was where they just tied you to a horse, like all four of your limbs to
horses.
it.
Yeah.
The four horses,
Yeah.
and just like shot into the air, and the horses just took off, and you got ripped.
Yeah,
apart.
asunder in the
Yeah,
context.
ripped
I think
asunder.
This is a really
Yeah.
good
Thank you,
word
Grant.
for that. Yeah,
Yeah, but apparently that's not what quartering is, and I forgot what quartering is.
It's-
So I could Google it, but I think they just broke your limbs.
No, I mean it. That's drawn and quartered, but they don't. You're not ripped asunder. It's the horses trot away. They don't
aren't they, like,
gallop
tied-
away.
Right, they're like you're tied to like some kind of like a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
and it just like stretches you out and breaks you.
Conveyor belt or horse, but it's like a slow situation, not a fast situation. I'm pretty sure.
Sounds worse.
Yeah, it's way worse. It's way worse because you're just like it's like that moment when like in what was it, Muppet Treasure Island, when they were torturing Beaker and they had him on the rack, and it's like because there's that moment when you're like, oh,
Yeah, you've got all of us on the same page.
Yeah, we're there with you.
all right, go. Look at us go as friends. And so it's like there's like a moment when you're like all popped right in a spot, and then they just keep going until all your arms pop off.
Yeah, but before that, you probably get your back straightened out really nicely.
Oh, God, it sounds so nice. I have such bad back problems.
Dude, I could use that right now. Someone could put me on the rack.
I thought quartering was when they cut you into quarters.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's a butcher.
That's what my grandpa did before he got fat and old.
Like I thought like they were like,
Butcher
okay,
people?
you're going to lay,
No, just
gonna
a
lay you
regular
down,
butcher.
Oh,
cut you at like the
he
hip.
he didn't work for Mussolini.
No, I mean he was in World War II, but
On the Italian side?
no.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Is that what your grandpa told you?
Yeah, fuck.
I think we already established we can't trust him.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But yeah, I thought they like cut you at the hip and you're like you wouldn't immediately die, so like they'd like let you like just like, oh my God, my legs.
To be honest, like if you can picture a form of execution, someone somewhere's probably done it.
Jesus, this is actually rougher than we're talking about. I think they did it multiple ways, but they removed organs, like the removed organs were burned in a flame, purposefully prepared close to the prisoner.
Okay.
Oh, so you could watch your own organs burn?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And then the victim's head was like cut off finally, I guess, and then the rest of the body was hacked into 4 parts or quarters.
What organs?
They cut your dick off?
That's really what I'm most concerned about on this.
I'm more concerned about like what did you do to have to warrant that?
I don't know.
Wait, didn't William
Treason was probably the most common.
Braveheart?
Yeah, Braveheart. Yeah,
Braveheart got
Mel
drawn
Gibson,
and quartered.
Yeah, Mel Gibson Braveheart's got chopped up in 4 halves. Oh,
Yeah.
also, have you seen Outlaw King? It's like Braveheart
Yep.
too, and you get to
Sex
see Chris.
organs. Mhm.
Yeah.
Definitely are in here. Yeah.
Sick.
Okay.
Yeah, just real quick plug in Outlaw King, you get to see Chris Pine's dick.
Oh,
Is
I've
it
been
nice?
dying to see that one.
Well, but it's honest, and that's what I appreciate about
An
it.
honest dick.
Yeah, because he's naked outside in Scotland.
Oh, so yeah.
In
So
the
he's
early
not like
morning.
fluffing it up.
No,
Make it look good
it
for the
is.
camera.
It is inside of him.
You know what? I will say props to Chris Pine for not just being like, no, I want my best dick shot. He's like, no, show my dick as it is.
Yeah, show
Let
my
them
dick
see.
in the cold of the Scottish morn.
Yeah.
And I was like, good for you, man.
That's not the Chris penis that I most want to see, but I respect the shit out of that.
Which one?
Well, there's Chris Hemsworth.
Which
There's,
one?
like,
Which Chris Penis do you want to see?
Chrissy Teigens.
Cool. Nice.
I think she'd show me.
She probably would.
Yeah. So executions.
yeah, carry on.
Yeah, so execution. So the ancient Greeks, when they weren't butt fucking young boys,
Well, they didn't
Or-
butt fuck all of them.
Hey,
they
oh,
they
sometimes
didn't butt fuck every young
They
boy on
thigh
the
fucked
island
a lot of
Greece.
Yeah.
They fucked a lot of them.
yeah, but not butt fuck. Some of them were thigh fucked.
Sorry, in between molesting young boys
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
and,
God.
and inventing olive oil.
Yeah.
These guys, if you killed your parent, what they would do, the ancient Greeks, is they would take you, right? They'd put you in a sack. Then they'd put in a dog, a rooster, a snake, and an ape. And then they would pick the bag up and throw you in the river. And just let
Fuck
nature
yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Like if you live, you deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't know if you're getting out of that menagerie.
I don't know. What if it's like a
What did the
cool
other
dog?
animals do to deserve that punishment? I'm
I don't know,
assuming
but
they
I-
have them like set aside.
I think
It's
that
just
was
a sh-
before animal welfare was considered a thing, before they invented that.
That's a shame. I really like to think of it as like a rooster that like really
Killed
like,
its mom.
like dick, like dick pecked like the head of the like little region or whatever. And he's
Right.
like, okay, well you're gonna go in the bag the next time somebody kills their parents.
Yeah.
You know?
Like
Have you ever met any chicken?
Oh, chickens are the worst.
They all fucking suck. Every one of them
Look,
deserves
factory
to die.
farming is horrific. I'm not going to say it's not.
Yeah.
But I feel nothing when I eat a chicken. Except pure delight.
As you should have.
I made fried chicken last night, boys, and I got to tell you what, I enjoyed every bite knowing that it cost a bird its life.
You know, I like good. I'm here with you. You know, I think it is an amazing thing when people like go vegetarian or veganism for the sake of the animals. But once again, I don't feel anything for chickens.
Not for chickens.
The chickens are so cute, though.
Oh,
No,
fuck you.
dude,
Have
fuck
you
those
ever
things.
had chickens?
They're gross as fuck.
I've never had them, but like,
Oh, then you
Then
don't
you have
know.
no room.
have
to
you
talk.
owned chickens?
Yeah.
Yes.
I grew
have not.
up
100.
in a fucking farm on Kentucky with no running water or power. I know how much chickens suck.
Okay,
It
so
wasn't that, but I had chicken. And they
Joseph's
were,
neighbor has chickens.
My
And
neighbor does have chickens.
What, dude,
there's a rooster, and the rooster, like, he'll walk in the front yard, and if you, like, whenever I park, does the same thing, like, chest out, like, who are you? What are you doing? And I'm like,
Real attitude.
respect.
No, fuck
I'm looking at this chicken like, yeah, sizing me up. I got you. Yeah.
I should kill that chicken. No, it's like, no, fuck chickens, all of them. It drives me nuts when people see like, oh, this is my pet chicken, and they're like holding it and kissing it, and I'm like, you're gonna get fucking salmonella. You don't have to just eat it raw to get it.
You can just be around a chicken. That's how gross they are.
Yeah, they're disgusting.
Cows are also gross, though. If we're going to be like
But
running
cows
on
have
this
those
table.
big, beautiful brown eyes, and
Yeah.
they're sweet.
They're not as gross as chickens.
That's true.
They're not as gross.
All animals are inherently gross. I mean, I have an animal in my home that shits in a box and then walks around in it, and I let that sleep in my bed, and I'd rather have that happen. A cat.
That's
We
true.
don't-
Yeah, no, I figured that's what you were talking
Yeah,
about,
if-
but the fact that you specified cat makes me think.
If you couldn't break my Da Vinci's code.
Hang on. So none of us would have like if you had the money and the resources, like, just readily available, you wouldn't want a pet pig. They're so cute.
No, I would have a pet pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pigs aren't as gross as people make them
I had
sound.
I had some buddies that had a pet pig. It had its own room. They had a kiddie pool with like those McDonald's balls in them, and the pig would go in and he'd like stomp on them and stuff. And I was
Like, they had that in
this
the house?
pig is awesome.
Yeah.
No, I love that pig. They called him Hamilton, of course. Easy
Yeah.
joke, low hanging fruit, but
As
still.
you could.
I don't know.
Loved Hamilton.
That's not the best pig name you could do. You could do like Bacon Bit or like Hamlet. Or like.
That's, Hamlet and Hamilton are the same name.
No, Hamlet's better. Don't give me that one. It's obviously.
No, Hamlet's better.
So executions.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so I prepared a couple fun stories from some guys back in the day. I've got some modern, more U.S. executions because got to talk about the USA.
America.
But I've got a couple fun ones from back in the day. And right up top, I'd like to say that the number one botched execution in history is obviously our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Fucking.
I mean, they did kill him,
Gang,
though.
I'm here for it.
The guy came back though.
Yeah, but they killed him.
It took
But he came
forever, though. Yeah, and he came back.
But they killed him. Isn't that what they were? That's their
enough.
job.
Not.
It's
to
not a job.
point.
Okay, if you build a house and it collapses like a week later, you didn't really build a house. They're going to make you do it again.
Look, what the Romans did to Jesus is what Batman does to villains. All right, a job half done. That's what that fucking is. All right, if you're gonna set out to do something, then fucking do it. All right, if you're gonna kill a Lord and Savior, put him down. All right.
He did go to the afterlife, so he was officially murdered, thus fully executed.
But he came back, so it's a botched execution.
So the Romans and their god Zeus are all failures.
Yeah, that's why they're not around anymore, because they don't know how to kill people.
Fucking pun.
I just had this-
Zeus,
Well,
it was
that's not-
Plato. Zeus was the Greeks, and then when the Romans.
Yeah, and then it was Jupiter was the Roman
What,
name
Jupiter?
for Zeus?
Yeah, because what's they appropriated?
No,
the
Saturn.
Greek religion.
Right?
I don't fucking know.
God damn it.
I'm Italian and I don't even know
Dude,
all
I
this.
had
This is your heritage.
Yeah, but it's like a boring part of it.
I was so ready to argue. It's like, well, weren't the Romans technically Christians? And then it was like, wait, they killed that. Okay.
They killed that guy. They fucking killed that guy. That was
No, that wasn't until
Constantinople, that fucking sellout.
Constantine. Yeah,
Constantine,
And he
that
had
fucking
the
sellout.
conversion. He saw the Cairo up in the sky, and he was
Yeah.
like, "PX, that means something to me because it's way back when, and my
Yeah.
letters are different."
Then he fucking moved to Turkey.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know, dude. Fucking.
I'm sure
sellout,
Turkey's
bro.
okay.
It's like fine, I guess.
It's fine. It's no Hungary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Fucking Istanbul, if you know what I'm saying.
Anyway, so actually, this is just kind of skipping ahead a little bit, but spoiler alert, the most efficient method of execution that I could see was firing squad.
Yeah.
Obviously, the best way to go, it seems like, from all the ways that the United States executes people today. Which actually 4 states still do firing squads. I was kind of curious if you boys would be able to guess which ones they are.
Texas.
Hold on, let me get to the list.
That was easy. That was an easy one.
Actually, I don't think Texas is one of them.
That is disappointing.
And I feel like it'd be like 4 rando states, like, I don't know, like Kansas.
Texas is not one of them.
I'm going to go and say
Texas is real heavy on the electric chair and lethal
Yeah, they're
That's true,
really.
they are. Yeah.
I'm going to say Nebraska.
No?
I'm going to say Kansas, Connecticut, Missouri, North Dakota.
None of those.
Ohio?
Leans in.
says hopefully.
All right, if we're going with home states, then Alabama or Mississippi.
Mississippi is one of them. Mississippi's big.
Lucky. God.
It's actually Mississippi, Oklahoma
Okay, so
as the shittiest state. Not super surprising. Sorry, Oklahomans, but not really. You live in Oklahoma. Get out. Utah and South Carolina.
Utah.
that tracks.
I was
Right.
close.
Utah is a little surprising.
Really?
But
I was
well,
surprised by
guess,
South Carolina.
well, I mean, I guess not. I guess the Mormons like to kick it old school, as it were.
Yeah, Brigham Young executed fucking loads of people.
Question.
Yeah, he did.
So, in the modern firing squads, to my understanding, only one person has a real bullet. Do they
Yes.
still do that? Or is
So, from everything I saw, and this especially holds true for like military tribunal, executions, is there's like 10 dudes. One of them has a bullet, and he's the one who actually like kills the guy. But in some cases, they don't know who has the real bullet, and in some cases, like the officer, the leading, I guess whoever's like, in charge has the bullet. And then in some of the older ones, they all had bullets, but the officer was the one who actually did the kill shot.
No, okay.
if I do have to get executed, I prefer firing squad, but I want everyone to have a bullet because that just sounds pretty metal.
I want to get
I was gonna say
shot
that's more
like
badass.
19 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which actually, this one guy, let's see, what was this mofo's name?
Because I want like to get shot 19 times and still have like enough strength to say one last like fuck you to somebody.
I think if I had to get executed, I would want to go out like that dude from that did the world's highest base jump. Like the
That'd be
Red
cool.
Bull base jump.
Yeah, that'd be
like
cool.
Yeah, but just without the parachute.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Push me out the door.
That'd be great.
That's pretty good.
Yours is better. I was gonna before you actually said that, which I'm now on your boat. I want to jump out of that. But I was gonna say donkey kick, but yours is better.
Donkey kick.
Donkey kick is good.
The anticipation, that's too much power in the donkey.
I feel like you'd survive too many of them. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like they're like, well, it knocked you out and you have no teeth, so today we're gonna try again.
Yeah, then you're just gonna fucking never mind.
Grant, you're at 5 kicks today. We're just gonna let you go to sleep, and we'll try again in the morning. The donkey's
tomorrow.
tired.
I love the crowd getting smaller and smaller. You know, over the course of a couple of weeks.
Everyone's just tired of watching you kick to the face by some
God, is
fucking
that guy
donkey.
dead already or what? Jesus.
God damn,
I gotta get back to work, man. I really hated that guy. But
It's just gonna be that really sad story from Game of Thrones about the Lannister got kicked in the head by the horse.
Oh,
They just
yeah.
always thunk thunk crushing beetles with a rock. That's gonna be you, man.
Personally,
Fucking
to be executed, I'd like Selma Hayek to sit on my face until I suffocated.
okay,
But if
Yeah,
that
pretty good.
cannot be arranged, drown me.
Okay, drowning? No, no way.
I think it's because, to me, that's one of the more horrifying ways to die. And
Lake,
so-
ocean, or river?
Oh God, ocean would be terrifying. But I would want someone to basically like cement block my feet, boat me out to the middle of the
Mariana's
ocean,
Trench.
and just boot me over
Do
the
you
side.
want goggles and a light?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I do. Because I want, while I'm going down, I want to be horrifically terrified.
Yeah.
Because if I'm gonna go out and that's my last my last sensory input,
Yeah.
I want it to be like full on, just everything overwhelming.
maybe it'll turn really pleasant for you. You know, just like underwater,
Under the
friends.
sea.
There's like this scene. Did you guys ever watch Rebels? Star Wars Rebels?
I didn't.
No, there's like a scene when like this really like uptight dickhead robot gets like shot out of the spaceship into space, and he's just like freaking out, and then finally like, oh, you know what? This isn't so bad. I finally found inner peace. And then he like floats and turns around. He sees a spaceship coming back to him. He's like, no, leave me. Damn it. No. I finally found calm. Yeah.
Dude, that's like that episode of Futurama where Bender like meets God. One of the best episodes.
Hands down, yeah.
Yeah. When he's got the civilization growing on his ass.
Am I supposed to hear their prayers? They're coming out of my ass.
Nice.
So Winslow Miguel was a soldier in the 1915 Mexican Revolution who served under Pancho Villa. And when the Constitutionalists won, as everyone knows they did, several soldiers, including Winslow, were branded as traitors and sentenced to death without trial. They put him against the wall, had all 10 guys shoot him, all of them, unloaded into him. The officer shot him right in the fucking head. Then they just left him. And this motherfucker, when everyone was gone, he woke up and just fucking hobbled his ass away. And eventually made his way to fucking Cleveland, Ohio, where he got on Ripley's Believe It or Not. And he did not have a lower jawbone, but he was alive.
Yeah, well, you know, not worth it. Because how are you going to live in Ohio without a lower jawbone, not be able to enjoy delicious, delicious Skyline chili? Can't chew a cheese coney without a lower jawbone.
Just reminds me of the Austin Powers, like when Will Ferrell's character gets pushed down. You're just like, I'm still alive, but I'm very badly burned.
Some Ohio deep cuts on this episode.
Yeah. It's the best place on earth, dude.
What's up with that chili, though?
Oh, it's so fucking good.
With cinnamon?
Says that no one in
Agree.
you. All right, shut up. You've never had it.
Yeah, definitely have.
No, well, then you clearly don't know what you're talking about. You probably had Gold Star. I was just really excited to be in a room with no one, in a room with a microphone and no one who else has had it, so that no one can debate.
No
me
one
on
could
it.
like call you on your bullshit because it's obviously bullshit.
I think it's fucking great, but some plebeians.
It's okay. Okay. Now I've had plenty of people just absolutely hate it.
But why do you put it on spaghetti?
Because it's
I
where
don't
it's
know.
because
Right?
that's where it goes. It goes on chili with beans
These
and
Ohioans.
cheese. All right. So it's the sweet ambrosia of the gods, and some people's weak mortal bodies just aren't able to handle it.
I'm on board. It just sounds like white trash deliciousness.
It is.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
It sounds like white trash okayness.
It's delicious, Joseph. I'm going back. All right, so I'm going back to Ohio.
Bring me back a bowl of Cincinnati chili.
Yeah, all right.
Joseph, like, you broke up. You grew up poor, right? Didn't you
I knew this was leading into Joseph, you're white trash.
I also grew up poor, but I just wasn't white trash. But like, you never had like hot dogs and mac and cheese, or
Of course I've had hot dogs
or like
and mac and
tuna
cheese.
and mac and cheese. And
Yes.
yeah.
I have lived on that stuff, but
Yeah.
now I have the ability to go beyond that. And also, I'm just going to say this. Cinnamon in the chili is not the biggest deal, right?
Yeah, it's not the big
I'm
deal.
not saying it's the biggest deal, but motherfuckers be putting like a whole cup of cinnamon in there, and then you just put it on wet, limp-ass spaghetti.
Okay, you're talking shit about something you don't even understand. All right, you're never even fucking been in the mecca that is the Skyline Chili restaurant. All right,
right.
so don't even fucking start throwing shade.
I guess I'm riding shotgun and going to Ohio with you.
Done deal.
And
Whatever.
and we're just going to make this work.
I've been really debating on just bringing back a fuck ton of it. Like it's because it's only 4 hours from Nashville to the closest Skyline Chili. I've done
You
the
can
research.
pack a hot box.
Yeah, I could pack a hot box and I could be back and I could hand deliver several cheese conies to my friends'
Can
homes.
we
Cheese
can we make
conies.
this a
Yeah.
podcast episode? 'Cause this
Sure.
sounds great.
Yeah,
What's
I'm
a
fucking
cheese
here for it.
coney?
It's a chili cheese hot dog from Skyline Chili.
I do love chili cheese hot dogs.
Yeah, so
Those are really good.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
great. Everyone gets all hung up on the fucking spaghetti aspect of it, which I get is just so incredibly innovative. It blows minds. That like
It's pushing boundaries.
Yeah.
How avant-garde.
yeah,
Yeah,
simple.
really. When you talk about culinary experimentation, I'm looking to Ohio.
Yeah, simple, small-minded Americans can't handle it, but you just direct them to the fucking.
No, see, Sam
cheese
is being
coney.
like acting like he's like the fucking artiste of this like table, when really what he's talking about is Middle America. You're talking about the Big Bang Theory of regional dishes.
How dare you, sir?
I said
How
it.
fucking dare you? Wow. Fuck you, your state didn't get modded into a replacement for the dragons in Skyrim, now did it?
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
I don't have a response for that.
Yeah,
There's
you're
nothing to say to
welcome.
that one.
Fucking Ohio did.
Sam, why do you like outside of this podcast, you speak so ill of Ohio. And as soon as you're on the podcast, you're like, yeah, we run shit. Yep. Best state in the fucking world, America.
No, it's like when someone starts talking shit about your mom that like is a bitch, but it's just like, hey,
my mom.
that's my bitch mom. All right, you shut your fucking mouth. You know, it's like one of those kind of like, man, you know, it's about not my mom though. My mom's great.
I understand that
Love
now.
you, Julie. Yeah. Okay.
Shout out Julie.
Julie.
She's fine.
The woman.
She's great.
She's not going to listen to this, but
I hope my mom doesn't listen to this.
no.
My mom will actively not listen to it.
I cannot imagine your mom.
I don't think my mom knows how to work Spotify.
My mom surely does not. I can assure you.
I can just picture Anna, your sister, putting like headphones on your mom, and for just 15 seconds, she just shakes her head sadly and then just takes it off.
I feel like she'd just fall asleep. Like, it wouldn't even like, that's my mom in a nutshell. Like, she doesn't really mean to be insulting, but she does things that like, ow, that really hurt. And she just like, what? Who? Anyway. Execution.
Okay. So back to the good old USA. First recorded execution in the United States. They executed this motherfucker, George Kendall of Virginia, for supposedly plotting to betray the British to the Spanish. Which, as far as like overlords go, I could see trading the British for the Spanish.
I would call it a lateral move, but I feel like it's like a sexy lateral move.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Tapas, siestas, flamenco?
Calimotos.
Yeah. Spanish have got to have better beer than the English. Well, you know what? No, maybe not. Maybe they got better. What do you think? Better liquor?
Better wine.
Better wine.
Definitely better wine.
Definitely better wine.
Probably some good spirits too.
And Calimotos, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever had one? They're great. It's
I don't know.
It's Coca-Cola.
I thought you were saying Komodo.
No, Calimoto. It's red wine and Coca-Cola mixed together.
Wow.
It's delightful.
That actually sounds really good.
Every
that actually
family
sounds terrible.
No, it's really nice.
No, I'm
actually.
on board with this now.
Every family gathering I have, I try and get my whole family to drink them, and they keep saying it's trashy, and I say no, it's from Spain. They said there's trashy people in Spain too, and I say you're a fucking liar. And like everybody from Spain is classy.
Okay. So, little early history of executions in America. In 1612, Virginia's governor, Sir Thomas Dale, implanted the divine moral and martial laws that made the death penalty the punishment of murder, stealing grapes, killing chickens, trading with the indigenous people, and killing dogs or horses without permission.
Damn.
So, if you kill someone's horse, but they said it's cool,
That's fine.
we're all fine.
Or trading with a native, like you're not allowed to do business with a native.
Yeah, like if they came up and they were like, hey, man, I've got like some corn and some pelts and stuff. And you're like, that's awesome because I've got wheat and pelts. You know, we can trade pelts for pelts and wheat for corn.
Yeah.
They'd fucking kill your ass for that. But it was 1612.
Am I the only one that's hung up about the grapes? Because I get that grapes would be hard to get into the States, right?
At the time, I could see someone freaking out because it's like grapes are a very limited commodity. They probably don't have
Say the grapes thing again.
If you stole grapes, you could be executed.
Oh yeah, no, that totally makes sense with me.
They're
Don't touch my fucking grapes.
They're tough to grow.
Don't touch my goddamn grapes. It's a very simple rule.
I feel like there was some guy who really pissed off the group. Like, he stole my grapes. Like, they're grapes. I ate them. It's like, I wanted to make wine with them. And it's like, well, too late. And then they're like, we're going to kill you.
Right.
Yeah. It had to have been like one case where a dude stole some grapes and also got executed, and they were like, fuck it, we're just going to put down stole grapes.
Like they think that we could pile a bunch of normal stuff to make one big bad thing.
Right.
Like he farted in church. He stole some grapes.
When really what it was is he like dated the magistrate's daughter or something, and the guy was like, eventually I'm going to tick off enough boxes. I'm going to execute this motherfucker. He stole what? Grapes? Put his ass in the
That's
guillotine.
the final straw.
Yeah, he gave my daughter the stinky pinky, and then he fucking stole some grapes. 86 that dude.
So the U.S. Supreme Court, which we all know is infallible and obviously has our best interests at heart,
Definitely.
has never found a method of execution to be unconstitutional. So, as far as the Supreme Court is concerned, whatever goes, goes.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Have fun with it, they said.
Yeah. They were like, you know what? States' rights for this. Which some states do say, like New York doesn't do firing squad, right?
Right.
Texas doesn't. But if they wanted to, they totally could. Not that I'm suggesting that.
Do you have a list of really fun execution styles that were briefly around in certain states?
I've got the modern ones that we've got. We've got lethal injection, electrocution, gas chambers, hanging, and the firing squad.
Hang on, there are people that like in the States that still hang.
It's an option that you could.
Yeah, most states do not go for it, but it is still, I think, technically written into some states' constitutions that is an option.
See, that's crazy to me because I'm fairly certain that lethal injection is one of the worst ones.
It's super inhumane, right?
I got to be honest, guys. When I was researching this, I was looking for funny stories, and I found a couple, but most of them are just about how horrific lethal injection is. And how, by far, Sarah helped me research, my lovely wife, shout out Sarah. Most of the executions I read about were just, all the lethal injection ones were just like, they fucked up, they fucked up,
Yeah.
they fucked up.
Yeah.
Horrific paralysis, pain, took like 30 minutes, hours, however long to die, of just someone like clearly gasping in pain and all their veins are standing out like a fucking marble statue. And the people at the prison are just like, let's just close this curtain for the witnesses and make everyone feel a little bit less uncomfortable. How's everyone doing? Some appetizers? So you want some snacks?
Yeah.
And there's just a guy like,
Why not like just a barbiturate overdose? I've never understood that. Just
So-
like put him to sleep and then like shoot too much heroin in him or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So-
we've got the heroin. They have
Because they don't
They've
get to have a
confiscated-
groovy time,
they
Grant.
confiscated the heroin already. You know what I mean?
Right.
so the states kind of, they've changed sort of like the different like chemicals that they use for lethal injection, right? But something I found very, very interesting, and I highlighted it so I could go back to it, is this was in Oklahoma.
Real quick, I just want to say, being executed by hanging doesn't sound that bad.
If they
it's-
do it right, it's
Yeah,
not that bad.
there was a guy who invented. Essentially, he came up with a better way to hang everyone, because what it used to be back in the day, some people.
Better
I mean, like straight up.
Yeah, because you can do it bad.
Yeah,
you can do it wrong.
Because if the rope's too short or too long, or the scaffolding's too short or too long, or the guy's too heavy or too thin, sometimes heads will pop off. Sometimes guys will just literally like sit there for like 12, 15 minutes,
Yeah.
just slowly being strangled to death with a raging erection, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
How could you not be hard while that's going on? You know?
Hang on, are your hands tied behind your back? Because if I was still alive, raging erection,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because
like-
otherwise you just grab the rope up top and, oh, no, you crank off. That's better.
just be like, one last time. Fuckers.
Well, that's what the guy in the mask is. He jerks everybody off.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
A
what
lot of people don't
that's what
talk
the-
about that.
Yeah, that's what the GIMP mask is for. He's supposed to jerk you off before he hangs you.
Yeah.
Oh, before he hangs you.
Yeah.
He doesn't
I
run
thought it
down
was wall.
underneath. and-
No, because if you go to old timey belief is if you go to hell with a nut sack full of seed,
you have that for alternative,
Yeah,
right?
and then you could impregnate a demon, and then you get incubuses.
Are you making that up? You know, I don't know.
I choose to accept that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome.
I know it's fun folklore, right? I just made folklore, everybody.
It's just some Monty Python type shit. We must check him off before we kill him. I need to be checked off. Why? Or if you don't, I will impregnate a demon.
And then there'll be an incubus you'll have to deal with. They're like,
Certainly
well, I
don't want any of those running around. Reginald, check this man off.
No, not Reginald. It needs to be Reginald's wife. It's like, what?
Who am I to deny a dying man his final wish?
Like, well, it's got to be Reginald's wife. It's got to be Reginald's wife. Sorry, Sarah.
Reginald,
You know?
summon your bitch wife. But in Oklahoma, 2014, kind of going off the drugs, there's a drug called midazolam. It's Midazolam. I think it's midazolam. Midazolam?
My dazzling.
Midazolam. Right here.
Sorry, I was like thinking like razzle dazzle, my dazzle. Keep going.
So a couple states have adopted midazolam to execute people. Now, there was a lot of prolonged litigation, numerous warnings from the defense attorneys about basically the fact that at this time, this was an experimental drug protocol that they had not really tried before, at least in Oklahoma. Oklahoma was like, fuck y'all, I don't give a shit, I'm Oklahoma, and scheduled the executions of Clayton Lockett and Charles Warner. Now, they did not release any of the drug details on this stuff, any information about what the doses were going to be, anything like that, because the state was refusing to release information about it because doctors are not like actually involved with lethal injection. you don't have medical professionals who give the shots to people.
Yeah,
it's always
yeah.
like prison staff.
Yeah.
Because,
No
you know,
fucking way.
Yeah, dude. No, it's whoever they can get to do it.
it's literally like sometimes they just get the same guy to do it. Sometimes they trade off. But like, yeah,
So it's not like a guy who like, oh, well, there's your pulse. I feel that there.
Yeah,
No,
no,
it's
it's-
the guy that does not mind killing a lot of people.
Yeah.
it's just whoever can stand to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the Hippocratic Oath,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like that
yeah.
whole thing about not doing harm.
Yeah. Doctors can't do it.
So it's just some dude is just like, what do you want it, bro?
It's fucking Chuck from housekeeping.
Yeah.
The dude who was washing sheets yesterday, it's like, hey, dude, you want to kill the guy today? He's like, overtime?
What's in it for me?
Which you may not be surprised to learn that midazolam, whatever the fuck this drug is called, is a proprietary drug from a pharmaceutical company that has patented it. So, wonder where that's money's going to when the states buy that.
The king of Oklahoma.
It's going to some Martin Shkreli type motherfucker.
Fucking pieces of shit.
But
Also, I want to go ahead and get ahead of this real quick for when we listen back to this. When we were doing that whole Reginald bit and we were making the joke about Reginald's wife, first name that popped in my head was Sarah. So I want to apologize to real life Sarah and you, Joseph. No offense. That was just the first lady name in my head because it was the last one I had heard.
That's okay because every single time Jamie jokes about an ex-wife, he's always like, Deborah, you bitch.
no, it's Linda, isn't it?
Linda?
I think it's Linda.
It's
yeah.
Deborah or Linda, I think.
I think it's Linda.
It might be Linda.
I'm usually better than that. And I feel bad and I wanted to.
You know
get
what?
ahead of that.
I appreciate that. I also appreciate that you didn't say it, so you didn't really have to apologize. But I like that you were like, no, I thought this and I need to.
No,
bring-
I said it out loud. It
Did
just
you?
kind of went under the radar. And I already moved past it.
I didn't hear it.
But you know what? I'm a man who owns up to his mistakes, registered or not. It's kind of a problem, actually, and it gets me in more trouble than the thing I did anyway. So there we are.
I appreciate that about you.
Anytime, man.
So essentially, because they wouldn't release any information about this drug, there was no way to gauge how efficient it would be, and they didn't really even like disclose the source of it. So they couldn't accurately predict the effects of how this would kill the people, how long it would take, what kind of level of suffering it would happen. But nonetheless, Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin pressured the courts to allow the execution, and a bill was introduced to impeach the justices who had voted to stay the execution. And the state Supreme Court decided, you know what? Let's just let the execution happen.
Sounds pretty American.
It does.
It just sounds like right on brand.
Yeah, and it took an hour to find a vein because, again, these guys are not medical professionals, and they found the vein in Mr. Lockett's, quote, groin area.
Jesus.
So 10 minutes after they put it in a sedative, the physician supervising the process, whose very presence violated ethical standards of several medical organizations, announced that the inmate was unconscious. However, he did not actually check his pulse or do anything that would lead you to believe someone you could like legitimately say this
He just
person's
kind
unconscious.
of looked like he was
He was
out.
just kind of like, I'm a doctor, that guy's unconscious.
Maybe the guy was just really tired after he got stabbed in the dick several hundred times.
Also-
Over the course of an hour.
I really do at least that they took an hour before they got to the dick, and the guy that Larry from maintenance didn't just be like, man, let's just go and stab him right in the dick.
Find that big vein that sits in the head. Y'all
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about. The
Yeah.
luscious vein that sits in a man's member.
Yeah, he didn't do that right off the grip.
They at least worked their way down to the groin area.
Thankfully.
Surprise, surprise, Mr. Lockett was not unconscious. And 3 minutes afterwards, he started breathing heavily, writhing on the gurney, clenching his teeth, straining. And he died about 43 minutes later of a heart attack after they decided they fucked up and were going to try and do it again some other time. So he was still in the execution chamber and they were basically like, yeah, so we need to redo this. And then he died of a heart attack.
Neat. Oklahoma.
Like, is that guy just praying the whole time? Like, Lord, just take my life any way you want it. And it's just the
think
heart
he's
attack
probably
came, and
more-
he's just like, yes.
Cursing Larry for stabbing him in the dick with poison water or whatever it is.
Yeah, most of these botched executions for lethal injection took anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours of probing veins. Some of these guys had been intravenous drug users, right? So they had collapsed veins, and these guys were not equipped to do that. They'd poke them in the toes, they'd poke them in the groin area, they'd get them in their neck, all over the place. They'd just be constantly jabbing them. one case in Texas, after the drugs were administered, this guy, Raymond Landry, who was executed, the syringe popped out of his vein and sprayed the deadly chemicals across the room towards all the witnesses.
Good.
Yep.
I'm going to say good.
I'm going to say, you know what? You came for the show.
Yeah.
And this is what you got.
You bought the Gallagher tickets. You can't fucking cry if you get some watermelon on you. You know what I mean?
How much liquid is
Funnier
there?
than anything that's been said so far on this podcast.
How strong is this liquid, and how much is there? That's my real question.
There's not really any information I saw on like the amounts of how much chemicals they put in.
Yeah. They don't know. That's the thing is because anybody they put it in dies. So they can't really like measure like how strong it is.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how uncomfortable were you?
Yeah, exactly. It's not like the life-sucking machine from Princess Bride, you know?
Can you like overdose from or like can you drink so much that you die?
Booze?
Yeah.
You mean alcohol poisoning?
That
Yeah,
happens
dude.
all the time.
Why
every
can't we
day.
just make them do that?
Because it's
That
a
sounds
lot.
badass.
Because they'd have to butt chug, and then someone have to like lift them up for the keg stand.
Yeah,
That's a
that
lot of
sounds
work.
fine with me.
And
Or do you want that, or do you want the lethal
I'm
injection?
not saying lethal injection is right.
I'm
But
just
drinking
saying,
to death. I'm not saying
It's not more
butt
right.
chugging a man to his final breath is not a great alternative.
That sounds the best way to die.
No, fucking somebody else's wife to death is until you're dead is the best way to die.
death by snoo, bro.
Yeah, we said it earlier. The body is, the mind is willing, but the body is.
Okay, Grant, what are you saying?
Weak and spongy.
Agree with me on this one. Wouldn't you like to catch a nice buzz and then
Boof till death. I mean, yeah. Like you're eventually gonna stop caring.
yeah.
Yeah.
With drinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna get to a point where like, all right, yeah, this is whatever.
Or you're going to get the spins and you're going to be like, fucking kill me right now. I wish I was dead. And they're going to be like, well, good news. No hangover.
We have another bottle.
Because like when you start a night, like that first shot goes down pretty rough, but by the end of a goblin evening, you can chug a bottle of Jameson and not really fucking think about it.
That's true.
Sure.
Yeah. By the end, like, you're like, you know what? That one last shot, that one less mystical shot that just fucks your world up.
Yeah, like back when I was like a bad drinker, every once in a while I get halfway through an evening and be like, I wonder if this is the night I get myself pancreatitis. You know, it's got to be one of those things. They're just like, you're like, well, that in that setting, I guess, to your point, would be like, all right, let's fucking full Monty this one. And
I remember I used to have this weird habit of when I also was a problem drinker, instead of a fun time drinker.
Sure.
yeah.
I had this habit. I would put pillows on the floor in case I passed out. And that way I could just crawl to whatever pillow was closest. And that doesn't sound as fun saying
No.
it out loud.
Well, I mean, it sounds smart.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I was practiced. I also always like make that mental note, that last drunken thought of like, turn your head to the side so you don't choke on your puke.
Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely been there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I would say that the pillow idea I love, and it could sound cuter if you said like I put down some pink pillows, or I put down like some like Pokemon plush toys.
No, I just put down the ratty pillows that were staying. Didn't have pillowcases.
You want to put that like suburban like Target spray paint on like mothers with alcoholism thing. Be like, Mommy can't do you without her wine. Oh, it's wine 30. I hate my kids unless I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Like that is
Yeah.
what you want.
Yeah.
That is my favorite Target shirt.
It is my
I
favorite.
hate
Target
my
shirt.
kids unless I'm drunk.
Yeah. That's my favorite one. It's the best one.
Target gets it.
They do.
Yeah.
Those bitches.
You guys want to transition into some fun electrocution mishaps?
Sure. I would also like to point out that earlier you said the phrase, while researching executions, I was looking for funny stories, but could only find fucked up ones. And you said it with a tone of surprise.
Shockingly, I kind of went into it with like a little gleam in my eye, like, oh man, this is gonna be so fun. You know, we're gonna talk about there's probably like a guy who got beheaded and farted at the same time, you know, and like they picked up his head and he was like, was that me? Oh my god. But no, it's just the
Egg
apparatus
on my face.
of the state is a death engine that is slowly grinding down the poor and really all of us. And before anyone stops it, it will have destroyed our world.
Which is funny if looked at in the right way.
It's not haha funny.
It's not funny, haha. Or like funny weird.
John Evans in Alabama Grant.
Yeah.
Strapped to the old Sparky.
Or
Sparky.
Eagle.
I know, Sparky.
The electrode that was held in place by a strap burst in place and caught fire. Smoke and sparks came out from under the hood around his left temple. 2 people entered the chamber and still found a heartbeat after they put out the fire. So the warden was like, "Let's go again." Which,
Hell yeah.
as this newspaper so eloquently put, this resulted in more smoke and burning flesh. And again, they found a heartbeat.
Good job, everybody involved.
Evans, his lawyer, was like, "For the love of God, guys, let's fucking stop." And then they put a third jolt. And about 14 minutes later, he was left charred, smoldering, and finally dead.
No, well, at least they did it. Also, lawyer, shut up. You already failed your fucking job. We're in this situation in the first
you
place.
already lost the case.
Yeah,
so
what
I'm trying to relitigate in the death room.
Yeah, what are you doing there? You're not gonna make yourself look better here, all right?
What is this for your bus stop ad? You trying to get a good photo?
Yeah,
Like fucking
yeah.
Bart Durham and the like.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Mr. Evans, this it's the warden here. Listen, things aren't going as well as I had hoped. So if you don't mind, here's a fork. An outlet is over there. Could you just
Pretend you're making Pop-Tarts.
just poke at it? Just
Stick your finger in the outlet and then stab yourself in the heart.
yeah. So
Because that's gonna be more effective than what we're doing
this
right now.
chair, I cheaped out on the chair. I should not have. That's on me. I do have a new Benz. That's a different story. But if you wouldn't mind just grabbing the fork, just going in as best you can.
I feel like Old Smoky was like that. Old Sparky was that?
Old Sparky, I
Isn't that
think.
one of the famous chairs?
I think the original Old Sparky was in Texas.
Okay.
Or it might have been actually like, I think
In
they called it
Rikers.
something like Yellow Lightning or something like that.
Yeah, there's like a couple famous chairs. There's the one from Rikers,
Right.
And then there was the one in Texas, which isn't that what the Shawshank book was based on?
Yeah, the Shawshank
Not-
book.
Green Mile.
Green Mile.
Yeah,
Green Mile,
sorry.
I'm
Green Mile, yeah, was based off this one guy who actually wrote about, I think it was Pedro Medina. It might have been another guy, but essentially they...
Nice, Pedro.
Yes, they used a artificial sponge instead of a natural sponge.
Yeah.
And so turns out artificial sponges don't conduct electricity the way natural sponges do. I don't know why. Something about the way sponges exist as weird
way they
invertebrates.
sponge, uh-huh.
Something
The way they joyfully catch jellyfish and
Yes,
create hamburgers.
I think all the pineapple juice from their home secretes into their pores, and then it becomes a natural conductor.
Facts.
that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
But yeah, his head caught on fire.
Damn.
Did he survive with the head on fire, or like he died?
For a little bit,
For a little bit.
eyes
For a minute.
burst, milky eye goop running down his face, people freaking out, vomiting
Ooh,
in
like
the death
the
room.
mountain
What?
from Game of Thrones when he squishes that cancer.
Oh yeah, that
Sorry, I was
pretty
thinking
sick.
of fucking what's that movie? Steven Spielberg. With the fucking Indiana
Alien.
Jones.
Oh, Temple of Doom, where the Nazis face melt.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's
thinking.
Ark
When they
of
opened
the
the Ark of the
Covenant.
Covenant.
Ark of the
Wasn't that in Temple of Doom, or was that
Temple of Doom is the racist sect.
which one? Was that in the first one then?
This is in the first
Ark
one.
of the Covenant.
Ark of the Covenant.
Oh,
Raiders of the Lost
you,
Ark.
Grace.
Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Grace.
God.
Appreciate you.
Fantastic
Yeah,
wife.
no, Temple of
great.
Doom is the one when they go to India and it's super fucking racist.
Yeah.
Like how bad
it
we're talking.
is.
I haven't seen it since I was like probably
Dude.
4 or 5.
I tried to rewatch it in my adult years and I got about halfway through and I said, yikes, and I turned it off.
Man,
Yeah.
I gotta watch that. Sounds good.
It doesn't paint the beautiful peoples of India or that small Chinese boy in a particularly good
You mean to
light.
tell me they didn't portray Short Round as an ambassador of his beautiful culture?
No, they didn't. No, they did not. No.
I'm not going to do the voice.
Don't do the voice.
I'm not doing the voice.
He just got back into acting. All right, we
He
don't
did,
got to
that's
do
true.
this.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Good for him.
Yeah, I want to see that movie. I've heard it's really, really, really good. They're doing a second release of it.
Which movie?
Everything, everywhere, all the time.
Oh, okay. Like a second theatrical release?
Yeah,
I hear it's really good. I haven't seen it yet.
it's supposed to be great.
Nice.
Cool. We are on the same page.
We've been there all day.
Yeah,
man.
look
Yeah,
at
look
us
on the
agreeing
games.
not to do racist Chinese accents and.
I was thinking about doing a racist Indian accent.
I'm
Can you do an Indian accent?
Don't.
They're hard.
Maybe don't.
I won't do it now. I did it once in my
No, do
improv
it.
class.
Well, we got one and one.
Hey.
Grant, you're the tiebreaker here. Do the racist accent or don't do the racist accent on the very first episode of our brand new podcast.
Let's hold on. Let's hold on. Let's
no.
warm. Let's
No?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's,
we're gonna say-
let's warm up to
Yeah.
our cancel.
I mean, it'd only be racist if he said something like racist. You know, if you just do the accent,
Thanks,
I don't think
Joseph. It's only racist.
Maybe you just did the accent and something smart, it'd be fine.
yeah. Am I wrong? As they're laughing like I'm wrong. I don't feel
You're
wrong.
not wrong.
I don't know, but I've never really thought about it like that before, where it's like if you do like a really...
I think it's racist that you assume if you do an accent, you have to say something offensive.
What
Like,
if the
Well, that's true.
descriptor of the accent we were saying was racist?
I'm not saying we do
No, I'm saying-
lines from Indy. We do a table read of Indiana Jones.
Could we?
I'm down. Yeah.
All right, shut it
Do
down.
it.
We're doing a table read of Indiana Jones instead.
This one, I just got to mention this one particular execution from Florida, just because when I read this, it hurt me. There's this guy, Alan Lee Davis, 1999, big dude. He's like 350 pounds. So
That's really big.
he's a big dude.
It's a really big dude.
I'm not size shaming the dude,
That's an
but that's a
impressively
large man.
Yeah.
In any way you put it.
It's hard to be that big.
Right. You have to work at it.
Yeah.
Either in the gym or with the snacks. Either way, you don't accidentally get to 350.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say no, you don't. That's the stance we're taking today.
Yeah.
All right.
Hard stance. Murder schmurder.
Murder schmurder.
He's a big dude. The chair was not built for someone his size, obviously. So they strapped him in anyway because it's Florida. And he just fucking burst from the seams. Blood was coming out of his mouth, pouring onto his
God
shirt.
damn.
He had a... I don't really know how electricity burns a hole through someone. Like, I don't understand. Like, I guess cellular destruction or whatever.
Yeah.
But apparently blood was just seeping out of his shirt, like about the size of a dinner plate. So, like, pouring from his mouth, his ears, his nose, every hole bleeding.
This sounds so epic and awesome.
It's metal as shit.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like what's happening on your shirt.
It looks
right
like
now.
what's happening. I'm wearing a shirt from The Thing, Kurt Russell, John Carpenter. Shout out John Carpenter. Put me in a movie.
If that fucking works, I swear to God.
If that works, dude, putting it out there.
All right. Manifest.
But a Florida state senator, Jenny Brown Waite,
Hot.
was there as a witness, and she said that she was at first shocked to see the blood, right? As anyone would be. But this bitch said that she realized the blood was forming the shape of a cross and that it was a message from God saying that he supported the execution.
That's one way to interpret that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, God saying, yeah.
This is horrific. Oh, a cross? Oh, nah, big guy's cool with it.
You ever sweat in a shirt and it just makes the sign of the cross?
The under titty sweat.
The under titty sweat.
and then like
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just how fluids pool on a chest.
Yeah.
Of a large person,
Of a,
especially.
of a large person.
Right.
So she was fucking
Now,
really.
this bitch was grasping for straws.
Yeah.
And I don't appreciate it.
Hang on. In her defense,
No, go ahead.
In her defense,
No, Jamie, hit me with
if
that.
I would have seen a guy like bleeding through his shirt and it had formed, what's the 5-point star?
Like a pentagram?
Yeah, pentagram. Then I'd be like, oh yeah, this is hella like Satan's doing. We should probably like not do this.
No, because if you saw the blood form into a pentagram, an electric guitar would just start shredding out.
Just out of the walls.
Hell would just reach up and pull this man down. Because that would be crazy. But like Sam was saying, a cross is a very normal shape to like see in like the diagonal of a man's body.
I will say though, it's normal to see that made out of sweat.
Yeah.
But
Blood
it
is
was blood. So I'm gonna give her I'm gonna say, yeah, Hadoy, that's the shape it made because we're outside the situation. But if you're standing there watching a 350-pound man be hit with enough lightning to kill an elephant, and then all of a sudden blood starts pouring out of every bit of him, and some of it happens to turn into a cross, you're like, I'm just gonna go ahead and say the Lord said this okay, because I have to say that to myself, because this is the most fucked up shit me, Jenny, something has ever fucking seen in
This
my
is how I'm going
goddamn
to sleep
life.
at night, is if I tell myself this is divinely attributed.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I get that.
Yeah.
This one is for lethal gas. This is just this is the most fucked up example of lethal gas failing that I've seen. It's in Mississippi.
Nice.
Jimmy Lee Gray. Shout out Delta Boys.
Gang.
So officials had to clear the room 8 minutes after the gas was released after they dropped the cyanide capsule because Gray's desperate gasp for air repulsed witnesses. Which the whole point of them being there is to witness this man's final moments. So if you can't hang, get the fuck out.
Yeah, seriously.
You're going to watch a guy die.
But it was noted that by David Bruck, his defense attorney, that Jimmy Lee Gray died banging his head against the steel pole in the gas chamber while reporters counted his moans. According to the Associated Press, he got to 11 before he finally died.
Word.
And I cannot imagine the Sesame Street level counting going on of a man's dying moans.
Oh, clang. A 1. Oh, clang. A 2.
Hang on. Just to pause real quick. So to clarify, we have cyanide on tap, right? They give like spies like little pills of cyanide. It's like, hey,
rollers and stuff.
If shit goes belly up, just pop that thing open. You'll be dead before you hit the floor. Why? I mean, we have the cyanide on tap. Can't we just
give it to him?
Yeah, hey, pop this real quick, and if you want, you can talk to your family for a couple minutes.
That's not as fun as the whole gas chamber thing.
So 2 points.
I mean,
for me.
the gas chamber guy got paid to build a gas chamber. You might as well use the gas chamber.
This is just like the pool table. You buy it and you're like, I'm going to be practicing pool all the time. I'm going to be going in there doing this. And the next thing you know, it's just gathering dust.
Yeah.
The velvet's all scuffed and you just don't give a shit. You don't even put a coaster on it anymore.
Yeah. And he has that pool table at home. It's not going to happen to his gas chamber. But I'm gonna make 2 points. I don't know if the poison tooth thing is real. As much as I want it to be.
I want it to be.
But I don't know if there's spies walking around with golden teeth, because if you just accidentally like stumble a bit and you clank your teeth together and you're like...
Or you have like a really good empanada and you get too into it. You like dislodge your cyanide tooth.
That's true.
Second point is you start the story off with, this is the worst story of a gas chamber I found. I can think of a couple million sadder stories of gas chambers. So I just want to say, this might not be the saddest one.
This is the worst example of a U.S. gas chamber legally mandated execution I could find. Is it better if I...
USA.
Hang on.
USA.
Oh, you know what's even more USA? Barry Bruce, the executioner, he was drunk. They found that out later.
USA. USA.
What do you mean they found that out later? They were like, did he like bring it up? Like, oh yeah, so I forgot I did that.
Yes. You're like, just you ever do something really fucked up when you're hungover and you're just like, sorry, man, I think I might still be hammered.
I think what happens is when there's a botched execution, they do essentially like a run-of-the-mill, like kind of after action report, you know?
Yeah, like a
And I
workman's
think
comp thing.
someone was talking to Barry and he was just like, and I think it came out that he was like, look, man, I was fucked up.
Yeah.
Which, talk about talking yourself into a corner.
Yeah, you don't know where to go after that one.
What an idiot.
Yeah. But
Hang on. So, do you have in your notes when we started doing the gas chamber stuff?
When the gas chamber was used in the United States?
Yeah.
I don't, but I bet you.
I bet
I
it
could
was
find that
after
out.
1946.
Well, I guess that's my real question. Like, did someone be like, you know what? That's a good idea.
This is like you think this was like an Operation Paperclip thing when we were like grab bagging Nazis from the fucking after the
you're
war?
going to NASA. You're going to the Department of Defense. You're going to the Congress. What do you know how to do?
I bet. I built these special rooms.
It's funny you should mention this.
Well, then you're going to Mississippi.
Oh, I heard it's beautiful. Yeah, beautiful.
First adopted in the U.S. state of Nevada in 1921 in an effort to provide a more humane form of capital punishment.
Oh, so it was a little reverse card where the Nazis were like, here's a
This is a whole other podcast, but yes, the Nazis did see a lot of what was happening in America and were like, he could do this.
Oh, yeah. That whole Gerald Ford guy.
Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah. They had some magazines that some people over there really liked. USA. USA.
If there's ever a lull, just go back to USA.
I refuse to believe that Birth of a Nation is a racist movie. I mean, come on, it's a celebration.
All right, so
USA.
what are we on to now?
not singing the praises of Birth of a Nation. I can tell you that.
All right, that's not in the script.
No,
Fantastic.
that was an ad lib.
Oh,
Those are really the best examples I have. Every other one is just human error.
yeah.
To be honest with you, a lot of the times with these executions is kind of why I don't believe in the death penalty in terms of a state doing it, like a governing body.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, you guys know when you're at work, people are hungover, lazy, tired, incompetent, or they just don't care.
Yeah.
And a lot of times shit just goes by the wayside, and you kind of manage to make it work for most of the part. But when part of that system is putting people to death, is there's just so much room for error. And with
Yeah.
our legal system and with the amount, like unless you abolish bail and you just set aside like a fund for like public defenders and you do some actual criminal justice reform, I just don't think you can trust the state to properly execute people and to properly convict people to then be executed.
Yeah.
So we should have
Wholeheartedly agree.
like a third party do it.
You know,
The church, because then it's not people or the state, right?
well, now,
No.
see, my thought was, now this might be a little sad. and
Let
we're
God
keep-
decide.
Ooh. Yeah. Now, this might be a little sad, and I was keeping it light and airy on this episode about fucking murdering people. But what if we let the people at, like, the Humane Society do it? Because they do it all the fucking time.
They are practiced.
It's not
That's
a
what I'm
bad
saying.
idea.
You know, like you have Chuck from housekeeping and Larry from maintenance, who are just trying to get a few more hours of OT, or you got sweet, ample-bosomed Brenda from the
Brenda
Humane
wouldn't
Soci-
hurt a fly.
But she has hurt several German shepherds, though.
That's not a
And
fly.
It's not a fly. But she does that to that big old beautiful-eyed dog. She could do it to fucking Garth,
Yeah.
who had a triple homicide on, gas station attendants.
I feel like Brenda gets a little jolt in her, and I'm not saying it's sexual, but I'm not saying it's not sexual. Whenever a pit bull comes into the shelter, because she's like, it's only a matter of time.
That's
baby.
what I'm saying. She's fucking slathering on her Subway sandwich, just waiting for March 3rd.
Okay, new idea.
He said slathering on her Subway sandwich.
You know how like
That's the most disgusting thing we've talked about today.
Fuck yeah, my guy.
okay, remember how the Brits used to be like, okay, we don't like you anymore, and they just ship you off to Australia?
Yeah.
What if we did that?
New Australia?
Like we find a new Australia. Like there's that island where like the Aboriginals like they kill you on sight.
New Guinea? Like Papua New Guinea?
I don't know where it is.
No, there's like the protected indigenous peoples islands where like they killed that fucking white boy missionary.
Yeah,
Kept trying
just
to-
send them there.
Which they should have. because it's
Yeah,
like,
dude,
don't
they-
fucking step to them with your fucking holy bibli. Like,
They
fucking-
straight up shot him with a bow and arrow.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
awesome.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you like, you like, let rape 10 kids, killed 3 people. We're gonna put you in a missionary suit, and then we're just gonna ship you on a very
They'll
small.
fucking take care of
Yeah,
it. dude.
yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you,
I'm cool with that.
That's not a bad idea.
that sounds pretty fair.
Or just kind of let them loose in the Amazon where there's that one tribe with the fucking zombie pounder shit.
Oh, yeah.
Or what? Isn't there like an island full of like Komodo dragons?
Komodo.
Yeah.
The island of Komodo.
That's what it's called.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
I get
drop them off there. That's
Yeah.
I like that.
like, have you seen the videos of like Komodo dragons eating anything?
Yeah, they're horrifying.
Yeah, it's
Their
absolutely.
bacteria in their mouth could like kill a full-size water buffalo in like
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's crazy is like they don't kill anything. They just bite you once and then follow you around for a little while
Right.
before you die.
Yeah.
Which is almost scarier.
Yeah,
It is.
you're
Because
just
then you're just like fever, sweating, you're just dying, and you're just like looking at this big ass lizard just like following you, and you're just like,
I'm
"God damn,
coming.
Yeah, like you're dancing. Oh yeah, buddy, we're eating good tonight.
All right, I think we solved it.
Yeah,
All right.
we have. Does that work for you? And your ideas?
I was
on-
gonna say alternative take is we could just wall off North Dakota and just throw everyone over the wall.
I like the Badlands though. The Badlands are pretty.
Alternative state. What do you think?
Nebraska.
Nebraska? I'll
Yeah.
take. Yeah.
Fuck you, Aaron Bruce. If you listen to this, we're sending them to your house.
It's your problem now.
Yeah, you deal with it. I'd do one of the flat places that we just grow corn. We have enough corn. I think I've decided.
Yeah,
that
we are like 80% corn as
Yeah.
Americans.
Actually-
between corn syrup and just corn in general.
Can't we? How about this? Like, we give them like 5 places you can go to die.
Okay.
Like there's the Komodo, there's the Aboriginals, like one's Antarctica. Like we'll throw you in naked,
Ooh, Antarctica.
or like you get
No, you know what? You get a coat.
a coat.
You get a coat and no food.
And no pants.
I like that. Yeah,
I'm into that.
Yeah.
Coat, no pants.
Coat, no
Antarctica.
pants.
Cool.
And then just
Actually, but I want you to have boots too. I think
I don't want them.
Yeah, I
I,
just
want them
want
to be
them
able to walk around for a little bit.
yeah, I just want them
yeah.
exposed from dick to ankles. So, but everything else is nice and bundled up. So if they got like kind of like scrunched down and walk around like a penguin.
but if you live like you can't rejoin society, but if you can make it work out there,
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, with your dick hanging out like a shriveled shrimp,
Oh,
just
it's
like
just living off
in the
live
tundra.
penguins.
One night out, that thing's frozen off. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's gone.
Yeah.
Or a slow death by diabetes due to high fructose corn syrup in Nebraska.
or
Suck it, Aaron Bruce.
push him into a volcano.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Right?
Yeah.
And it'll keep the volcano gods happy, and they'll
Yeah.
stop erupting all the goddamn time.
Yeah, because they don't really want virgins. I'm going to let everybody know that they
Nobody
don't-
wants virgins.
Nobody wants
Sorry,
virgins.
virgins.
Sorry, guys. I
Go
mean,
ahead. Go ahead and lose it.
maybe other virgins.
Yeah.
Find another virgin.
I don't mean to be down on virgins.
No more incels. That's all we've got to offer. No more.
That is unfortunate because, like, I guess like lady virgins don't really have a lot of choice of dude virgins because most dude virgins are incels, right?
I would think so.
Normally, yes. Not always.
Not always.
Or they're homeschooled.
Or and they can be nice boys.
They can be. Yeah,
Find
they can
all
be.
right, lady virgins. Find yourself a nice homeschooled boy who just hasn't really adjusted to the real world yet.
And I'm going to go ahead and say this: virgins who are fellas or identify as such, just jerk off before you meet them.
And
like
just be
seriously,
cool,
like
dude.
dial it
Just-
back a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's true.
Just put on whatever's your cleanest, nicest band shirt, and just comb your hair and try to talk about something they might like. Ask them
Exactly.
about them.
Ask them about them. And look, dude, if you haven't got laid yet, it might not be your fault, but it's definitely not their fault. You know,
And it's not their responsibility.
It's not. Things just didn't fucking happen for you
true.
yet. Just take a breath.
Some of us had to wait for a while.
Exactly.
I bought condoms when I was 15. Little did I know those motherfuckers were going to expire.
Yeah. That's a bummer, man.
That's okay. It
First
happens.
girl, and it's like shredded. I still got it, baby.
I still have
That
my
thing burned a
condom.
hole in my wallet for years, bro. I'm telling you. And it didn't need to.
Isn't that a story arc in a Malcolm in the Middle? He just has a condom like for an entire season.
I don't remember
Is
that.
it?
I did watch most of that show, and I don't remember that.
It was a solid show. I haven't watched it at all in a long time, but I bet it holds up.
It does.
It does.
It does hold up.
Yeah.
I forgot how specifically 90s it was, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really fucking 90s, dude. It's, yeah.
Did you ever watch the WandaVision episode with Malcolm in the Middle? I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
What's it called? When WandaVision is mimicking / mocking or however you want it, like doing their own rendition of old shows like I Love Lucy, Malcolm in the Middle. It's fantastic. It's
Okay.
wonderfully written. It's very well thought out. I loved it. And as soon as they broke out of that, it feels like there's 2 writers. Like one writer is competent
Yeah.
and like doing a great job. And as soon as they break out of that world and go into like the real quote unquote like Marvel universe, it falls apart so fast. Dialogue is so bad. Like characters become more caricatures.
Pat Dennings was perfect from start to finish, though.
Dude, so a lot of it pissed me off so bad that like I don't want to watch any of the other Marvel shows.
WandaVision's the one that, I don't know why.
I've turned you away from everything.
Yeah.
WandaVision is the one that did that? for you?
Yeah, because I thought because the writing was so good in some episodes and then so bad.
Man, I enjoyed it from start to finish. The one that made me real annoyed was Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I tried to get into that one. And,
Fucking pointless.
And it made me so like turned off from it that I was like, I'm not going to watch WandaVision.
I liked WandaVision. Falcon Winter Soldier was just a weird fucking. It felt like they were writing it about a lot of the social justice issues that were happening, but the person who was writing it didn't give a fuck about the social justice issues. And like Kevin Feige was like, walked by like a random dude's office, like, hey, we got to talk about this Black Lives Matter stuff. It's a really serious thing in this country. And then one guy's just like, fine, I guess. And he did, and then he did it. And it's just like, I was like, do you guys really give a fuck about this? Or you're just writing it?
Yeah,
'cause
like you
feel
threw it
you
in to
have
throw
to?
it in.
Yeah.
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 Moon Knight's okay.
Because anytime like it was fucking Sam and Bucky were like talking about racial issues, it was just like, come on, man. It's just like Bucky was just like, I'm from the 40s and I don't get it. But and I was like, all right.
Yeah, but it's also like you have a black Captain America now, so maybe like
fucking get it.
Step up a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. Didn't like that one.
Yeah,
it was a bummer.
Well, what I was thinking about this whole time is an editing process, just a really slow fade into nothing when we really got it launched into Marvel.
So what you're saying is these are the editing room scraps?
Yeah.
These are the trimmings?
Oh, yeah, didn't you have like a last thing to talk about too?
Not really. I was going to talk about kind of like what you guys' stance on the death penalty was, how you feel about the dessert death by chocolate, and if that's offensive to people who have been executed.
I like the slow fade out from as soon as we start talking about Marvel.
Well, I guess I'll say that I am against the death penalty for actually everything that you said. You know what I mean? It's just too easy for groups of people to fuck it up.
Yeah.
You know, and like actually deciding if this person should be put to death and into how they try and go about doing it, you know. Until we can figure out a way to like equivocally prove someone's guilt and
that
like humanely put them down.
Right, to ensure they had a fair trial, fair chance, that no cops were like fucking going around tampering with evidence. Everyone's got body cams that you can actually, because there are crimes that I'm like, oh no, I have no personal moral problem with putting someone to death for this.
Yeah.
But I just don't trust the state to do it.
But I mean, like, you know, when we really started figuring out DNA evidence and we're actually able to apply that to old cases, how many people were, we'll say, accidentally put to death?
Yeah, I think it was something like 134
Real
have been exonerated
sugarcoating
post-death.
You know, accidentally. Whoopsie daisies.
Yeah, because I mean, I also like
That's a real hoopsie do there.
we killed an innocent man. I don't know.
All right, one more of these, and we're really going to have to start reviewing our procedures around here, guys.
Yeah. Are we though? Yeah, no. Then it's like the thing is like you got people sitting on death row for 20 fucking years and they're innocent the whole time.
Yeah.
Until we get Tom Cruise to actually figure out the real life Minority Report, then.
Isn't there? I think that happened like a recent issue where like one guy, I think was in Florida. I can't remember his.
That there was a Minority Report?
No, there was a
future
guy who was like on death row for like 20 years, but like now there's evidence proving that he couldn't have been there.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, he just got out.
Yeah, but he's like he's up for like there's like a retrial, so he's like up to actually go back to prison.
What?
Yeah, like he got out, and then they were like, actually, we have to do a whole new retrial, and like he came out.
Yeah,
and his whole
because it's
family.
like in some legal cases where they don't necessarily say like, oh, we fucked up, you're free to go. They say we fucked up this trial, now we have to have another trial with the evidence that was left out or the evidence that was misrepresented or misinterpreted.
Fucking
which just like, can you imagine?
dude.
Yeah, like you spend 20 years in prison,
man.
and they're like, hey, so you obviously weren't there, but now you get to do a whole new trial again. Makes the whole the Alfred plea with the West Memphis 3 makes a lot more sense.
Oh yeah. Because it was just like the one guy who didn't want to sign the paper, right?
I think it was like Damien Eccles who was
Damien
like,
Eccles
I'm
who
not
was-
fucking signing it. And then like
everyone was just like, "Stop being a fucking dick, Damien. Just sign the paper."
they were like, man, we're gonna fucking die in here if we don't do this. And he was just like, all right.
Which, don't get me wrong, my heart goes out to those three boys. But Damien Eccles was an asshole from start to fucking finish.
No, dude, he
And
was
still
like
is.
the worst scummy teenager.
Yeah, if you would just stop being such a little goddamn goth shithead for 5 minutes, so much of this could have been avoided, you asshole.
And if the Central Park 5 could have just not been black, they could have.
All right.
I'm just saying.
All right.
I'm just saying. It's fair to shout out both groups.
He can. Damien Eccles can stop being an asshole.
Damien Eccles can stop being an
physically
asshole.
able to
The
do
Central
that.
Park 5 just got fucked.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
That's a fun place to wrap this up.
Yeah, I think we should just cut it.
You know what? We can cut it at any point,
And
really.
not my awkward rant about how.
Yeah, calling Demi and Eccles a bitch.
See, I want to decide with my awkward rant about Falcon Winter Soldier. That one doesn't.
That felt more natural.
That one,
Stop
it
that.
did felt. Yeah, that one was just like.
Do we want to do any kind of sign-offs?
You guys go first.
Huh?
Sign
Well,
up.
this has been the first episode of Murder Schmurder. Hopefully, anybody enjoyed it. Like one person, maybe.
Hopefully someone.
The four
out
of us
there.
did, I think. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Hey, that's 4 people right there.
I had a pretty good time.
I enjoyed it.
I might tell somebody I did this.
Hey, murder schmurder. Don't look at that.
Oh, fucking shut it down. Let me see your phone. I'm going to put it in the garbage can now.
Murder Schmurder is like going to be like for us, like the IMDb page when you scroll to the very bottom and you start seeing that first roles actors were in, and you're like, look at this bullshit.
Yeah. I hope it gets to like a last podcast point where people are, when they talk about the show and they're like, you know what, you don't have to listen to anything before episode 125. And we'd prefer if you did.
Yeah. It's better if you don't.
Yeah. But yeah, so this has been Sam, and I hope I don't live to regret doing this someday.
And I'm Grant. And this has been fun.
I'm Joseph. Thanks for letting me talk about some fun mishaps, whoopsie daisies, and ouchie boo boos with the death penalty.
Whoopsie daisies. U.S. government here. What's a whoopsie daisy? This is Jamie. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this first episode of Murder Schmurder.
And the book of mysteries closes on our heroes. Until next time, my fellow wanderers, my kindred spirits in the graveyard. We've had some laughs, some scares, and maybe even learned something along the way. Think of us for your next podcast listening pleasure. Think of us when you go to sleep at night. The house settles, and you close your eyes and feel something there.
If you like what you hear, please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at Trashville_USA. And if there's a true crime story you want us to cover, please email us at don'temailtrashville@gmail.com.